Hello everybody, this is Sumadhur Shakya. Welcome to this learning session. I made this video to help and facilitate your learning. I hope you enjoy the video and find the information presented in this video as useful. Let the learning begin. Thanks. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show you how to get quickly started. So I have, say, a bunch of data links that are already there. So I'm going to start downloading some of these and get you started from there. Okay, so let's see. So let downloads here. Let's say let me empty my download folders, and I'm gonna bring the default folder structure in here. Okay. So this is what default folder structure that I typically use in the classes. So let's say I have GIS sample structure. I'm going to cut this. This is totally optional, up to you, not required, so that I have one less thing to go into, one less level folder structure. So now let me go ahead and say, you can name it what you can recognize it with. And I'm going to bring this so that I can see here as well, and then keep this as a default download folder. Okay, let's get back to the links. These were the links. Okay, so I'm going to start with census. And I'm going to give you a quick overview. So first is the state. I'm going to download the state, look for the state. Here, state. This will give me all the state files in the United States. Then the county, all the counties in the states. Then primary and secondary roads. Primary and secondary roads. And I want that for California. California's code is 06. We'll go through that in a minute. Every state has a code, 2-digit code. We used to call it a FIPS code like 8 to 10 years ago. Now I think they're called as ANSI code. If you want the documentation, I'll show you where the documentation is. Give me 1 second here. And then primary roads and so on. These are all the primary roads for the United States. And I'm done with this page. And then point landmarks file. Point file. The California again. So 06 code. Done with that. Then go to Bureau of Transportation Statistics. The whole idea is to give you a variety of sources of data where we can find what we need. Then find truck stop under freight. So navigate to freight under find data by category. So navigate to freight. Truck stop parking. So I got lucky there. Don't have to do much there. And let me see the download, what my options are. I'm going to go with shapefile, and I'm going to use the one that is previously generated, the recent one. Do I need anything from this? No. Okay, so I'm going to close this one then, and then go to Cal State GeoPortal. And click transportation, choose shapefile content for California schools. Transportation, California schools. Okay, so then I need to filter it, I guess. or want the shapefile data, and electric substation, no. There. Okay. So in there again, download options. I have shapefile. Okay, good. So that'll get me started. Now I was saying I'm going to show you something about this data set. So I'm using the FTP. For people that are new, I mean, they can go with the web interface, and here, this website, you have the technical documentation, full document. This will give you a detail as to what data set is available and what those code means, ANSI code and stuff like that. Okay, so this should be a large document. It used to be. Now, so that's what it stands for, American National Standard Institute and things like that. So it'll define what all those file names means, but that's you need to just get started for what's required for the course. That's why I'm giving you a quick overview there. This is how the web interface looks like. So if you click on this web interface, this is what opens up, and you can choose that step by step. Okay, so it's the same thing, school districts and so on. Now, let's get quickly started. So this is how all the downloaded files look like. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that to the folder structure that I have here. I just like to do it that way. And then depending on, well, the first thing we need to do, these are all zipped files. So inside this, there are about 5 to 6 separate files for each one of the folders. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to extract them. And you can either extract them by folder. I'm going to extract these files at a single go, so then it'll be easier for me to add. So it just threw everything away in a single folder, only because I know it's going to make my life a little easier when I add them to ArcGIS Pro. So I'm going to start with ArcGIS Pro now. So hopefully it starts up without any issues. Okay, there. So I'm going to save this in the GIS folder of the sample structure that I just made. And I'm going to say, quick start map export for students, whatever you want to name it, but I'm going to name it. Oh, okay. Really? Oh, there. I need to change the name there. So one quick start map for students. I'm going to copy this in case it makes me do it again. And okay, yep, that's much better in the downloads folder in the sample structure, and then hit okay. So as you see, it's trying to do its own thing. Now in the map, I have the add data folder already available. So this should not be grayed out. Okay, now the next thing I want to do is this is live. Okay, so the more things you have checked in here, the more internet bandwidth it's going to use. So at this point in time, first thing I'm going to do is add data. And within this, I'm going to go to folders. And by default, it is looking for where I saved the project as, map project as. So that's where it's going to take me to first. Okay. So let's see if it's going to show me the downloads folder. Yes, it does. Then within this, now this is what is helpful depending on, because I had that zip application that extracted everything at one place. So I'm going to add all of them in single go. And then let me go to zoom to layer. So this is only California area, so it helps me navigate directly to that. So now the next thing I want to do is I want to project them. So if I see right now, you look at this source, data type, shape, file coordinates, spatial reference. Right now it says WGS 1984, marketer auxiliary sphere. I don't make fun of my pronunciation, but that's, I just want to be accurate. Don't care about, anyway, so I want this to be USGS equal area conic. Okay, so what I want to do is let's look for the toolbox. So toolbox, there it is. No, not, I don't want to add any toolbox. I want to find there. So I am looking for batch processing. So batch project. Okay. So when I click on this, it's giving me the list of files based on what's added in the content layer, content pane. Yeah, this one is content pane. So I'm going to add all of these one at a time in sequence. Third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh. Okay. Now, the good thing about this ArcGIS Pro compared to the older version is that you can see the previous files that you've already added, so then you don't re-add them. And then the next thing is that I only need to define the output folder. So let's see if it'll let me get up one folder. No, it will not let me get one folder up. Okay, I guess it's trying to suggest that I should put everything in the geodatabase. If you were to use this one, it'll keep the file size low, but I just don't trust it because I'm still used to the old desktop version. So I'm going to choose the folder where I think I can manage my files better. So unprojected files, I put them in downloaded folder, right? That I created within the sample folder. Now I'm going to say that all the projected files should go in the input. Okay. And the output coordinate system, I want to choose as projected continental North America, and then equal Albert area conic USGS. So this is, the whole thing about projection system is that if we assume the Earth to be oval versus perfectly spherical versus with or without the mountains, with or without the changes in topography, or if we were to consider like a balloon, if we were to flatten out the balloon, then is it going to maintain the shape, or do we want it to maintain the area of the structures on the surface of the Earth? Okay, so whatever it is, if somebody has an issue with it, then I'm going to outsource that liability or the blame on United States Geographical Society. I should not be questioned, or my analysis should not be put under doubt. Okay, that's the whole area. So I'm going to be using for this course USA contiguous Albert's equal area conic USGS. And I don't need any other transformation. All of this is fine. And then I'm going to hit the run button here. Okay. So what this is going to do is that while it is getting done, it's going to create all these unprojected files into the projected files with the same names. If I was to do them individually, then it'll ask me to give a name to each file, and it creates a lot more work. So it's about 14% done, 30% done, or something like that. So let it finish, and I will look for the details. I don't see any errors. Yep, I don't see any errors. So everything went okay. I am going to remove all of these by selecting first file, hold on to shift key, everything in between gets selected. I'm going to hit delete. Then I'm going to go to add data. And in this time, I'm going to add all the files from the input folder, bring them here. And I'm going to do again using select key. I'm going to say group, and I'm going to name that group as starting inputs. Now this doesn't change anything about the files, but to give you an idea, what we were trying to achieve in the first place was, let's double click on the school site. So when you go to school site source, spatial reference, now it is projected as USA contiguous equal Albers equal area conic USGS. Okay, so that was the first step we wanted to achieve. This whole process that we just did is called projecting the shapefiles, and I showed it to you in a batch process. Okay, you can also do that individually if you wanted to, by going to data and then export features and then giving the parameters for how you want it to export. Okay, now let me get to zoom to layer and uncheck all of these. Now, the first thing at this point that I want to do is look at the properties for the state file. So in the state file, so if you look at this, yes, it does give me right click, sort ascending, California, GeoID. That's the ANSI code as they call it in technical documentation. So 06 is meant for California. It'll always be the case. You can also go to American Fact Finder and use this GeoID to join. Now this GeoID at this point in time, this is a number stored as text. So if you want to look at this, look at the field. GeoID is a text. Okay, it is stored as number. How do I know that, or how do you recognize it? It's because it's number and then it's aligned to the left within the cell. Okay, so those are small things that you need to pay attention to, with the details. That's going to help make your life a little easier. Okay, not a whole lot. Now, these are all the counties. So there should be around 2,000 some plus counties. Well, they have 3,233 because it includes Alaska and Hawaii as well. So again, I have GeoID. In GeoID, you have the state ANSI code, the first 2 digits. Then there are last 3 digits is the county within that state. So there can be multiple 039 across the United States, but there will be only one 31309, which is the state number 31, and then 039 is the county number within that state. Okay, so if we were to sort this out, see, this is not 1001, this is 01001. So when you are doing this in spreadsheet, you have to be careful that you multiply the state ANSI code plus multiply the state ANSI code with 1000 plus the county ANSI code in order to get the correct GeoID or ANSI code for the specific county. Now, if we were to look for one more thing, so let me show you that there will be multiple counties with the same number, but there will be GeoID when concatenated with state and individual county ANSI code, then that becomes a unique number. There will be no number repeated in this column, which is a 5-digit number, right? 2-digit from the state and 3-digit from the county. However, if we only sort the counties, then there are multiple such numbers because the same numbering starts for each state, right? So the unique identifier for the county is going to be GeoID. A unique identifier for the state is going to be the state FP, or state ANSI code, okay? So Okay, the next thing I'm going to show you is the Monterey County. So 06. So within 06, let's see if I can quickly find the Monterey County. San Luis Obispo. Well, I'm already on 8. Okay, so 60606. There. So Monterey County 06053. So if you want to get more data from the census tiger shapefile, then you are looking for everything with 06053. Okay. Now that's about all the information that we need to know for now to get started. What I'm going to do is prepare myself one California file only. You can do this by copying this and pasting another layer here, or I can export it so then there is no way that it can make a mistake. So I can paste this here and then say that for this California, well, I think I copied county. Well, I'll get back to that. So delete that, and then so I'm here. I'm gonna say copy. Where's copy? Copy, and then paste. And in this one, I'm gonna change the color. I'm gonna change the color such that it has a border of black color with outline of 1. Hit apply. Okay. Now, right now, these are all like transparencies, one on top of the other. Okay. So I have two files copied, even though they're referring to the same file. So if you refer to this, it'll have the same address. Okay. Inputs, TL 2021 US state, and same thing for there. So in the background, it is referring to the same file on the hard drive. Okay. Now, what I want to do is using this one, I want to say select by attributes somewhere. Select by attributes. Okay. So, oh, it was right there. So select by attributes. Yeah. So I'm going to say starting inputs. I have 2 of them right there. Starting inputs, and then this one. So this is the one that I just pasted. Okay, selection is new selection, of course. Yeah, I'm not adding it to anything. And then let's see. Okay, didn't say clear. Easy is this one. So let me select it by selection. I was hoping I can put in 06, but I don't want to make this video too long. And once it is selected, I'm going to show you the individual export features, output location. I'm going to define it again in input. Cal state only. What am I missing here? Oh, this is GDB. I want the shape file. So this is the folder I want. And then CA state only. Okay. I don't need to modify anything or change anything. Simple there. So that takes care of that. I'm going to get rid of this now. Remove this. Goes here. Why did it remove both of them? Let me add the other one. So where's the state file? So now I have the single file. I have the single file, the state, Cal state that I exported. And then for the counties, I want to export the Monterey County. So I'm using the wheel on the mouse to get there. So to zoom in and out. Okay, so now for label there, I'm going to do the same thing, the least amount of work requiring me to get the things that I want to be done. Primary, secondary road for California. So these are all primary and secondary road. The US primary roads, this is only highways. So you can see it doesn't mean that it's broken, okay? It just means that the lines, the gap in between is filled by a secondary road or the state highway. So the blue and the brown, so you can see the difference. Yeah, the blue ones are only primary roads only. So what I want to do is I also want to export some of these neighboring counties so that I can select the data later on. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose again, select Santa Cruz, hold on to the control key on the keyboard, shift, Monterey, San Benito, Santa Clara, Fresno, San Luis Obispo, Kings County, and I think that should be it. Yeah, I think that should be sufficient. Even I don't think I need Fresno, but it's right next to Monterey. So I'm thinking about what I may need in the future. Okay, so I'm going to select Fresno and this current county as well. Okay, and then I'm going to say export. Same thing again in the input box. You can certainly use the GDB, the geodatabase. .gdb is the short form for geodatabase, but I want MRY, like short for Monterey, and then neighbor. I can't spell neighbor. Neighbor. You get the idea. Okay. Let me make fun that Professor can't spell. Monterey and surrounding. Okay. So I'm going to be okay. And then once I'm done with that, then I'm going to make sure that I say clear selection. Okay. So now I don't need this. Okay, so I have the surrounding things, and the reason I need these surrounding things is so then moving forward, I can select all these landmarks, point landmarks within this area by location. Okay, select by location, and I can ignore all the other point landmarks that are not of my concern. Okay. And accordingly, I'm also going to do the same thing for one Monterey County only. And I will show you why. Okay. In the meantime, uncheck this. Okay, data, export. So it is okay to keep it like this. Okay, you don't have to change it, but I like to keep everything in the format. Like if this program was to crash, I can access the folder if it's in the shapefile, but I cannot open the geodatabase unless this program is running. So that's the reason why I do the way I do it. Monterey only. Okay. And clear selection. Okay. Now, the next thing I want to do is some of the point landmark files. So copy, paste, attribute table. Now I'm looking for 06053. Okay, that's for the Monterey. Can I identify this? Oh, it's a little difficult. Marina Police Department, that's identifiable. Is there CSUMB there? Okay, this will be a little difficult to find, so let me do it another way. So in the Monterey County, I was to zoom in, we are somewhere around here, right? The Bay Area. Now, if I was to say label, let's see how messy it becomes. It didn't label anything at all. So let me see. Okay, it took it a while. So there is Marina City, Pebble Beach. So what do I want to choose here? Is there anything I can choose? No, won't let me choose that way. Let's see. Seaside High School, I can choose that. Marina Fire, Pacific Grove. Let me I want to be able to drag this map. It's my toolbox. Can I hit escape? Clear. Where's my hand tool? This is ridiculous. Okay, so it selected me. Then in the attribute table, I'm going to go to this button here, show selected records only. And I'm going to sort them and hopefully find something that's more appropriate. Since it's not showing me graphically. There. I'm going to choose Marina Post Office. Seaside City Hall. Seaside City Hall. There's Monterey City Hall. Monterey Peninsula Transit. Okay, that should be good enough. And so out of all of them, FID, point ID. Zoom to. So this is where I am, Monterey City Hall. Okay. So now that's the only thing I've selected. I'm going to export that. Again, same process. I know it gets repetitive, but you only have to do this in the beginning. Because we are setting it up for the future use, it'll save us a lot of time later on. So now I don't need this. I already have one file here, so I'm going to get rid of this. Okay, so at this point in time, I'm going to get to Cal State layer that I had, zoom to layer. Okay, and now I'm ready to export the map. So go to share and use project template or export map. Export map. So it's there. Now I want this to be no. So portrait, yeah, but I want to be able to change this a little bit. So before I export this map, I'm going to go to insert, new layout. And given the way the California is, naturally it's like a little long top to bottom. So I'm going to use letter. And so now it created a new tab. So everything map is here. Yeah. So this is a new version. So you just got to live with what the vendor is providing these days. And it might get updated in 6 months from now. May have a different layout of the buttons and so on. So this layout, I'm going to drag the mouse holding my left key, a left button on the mouse, and leave it there. Okay, so default extent, yeah, that's fine. And it didn't take it there. No. So new layout I already chose. Yep, that's the one. I already have one layout. I'm gonna let me try it again. So holding the left button on the mouse. Okay, well, that's what I did the last time. Anyway, so now that it is happy with the map frame, let me add to this map frame the files that I want to add. Okay, so so let's see. Give me 1 second here. What am I forgetting? So let me. Do I have to drag them one at a time? Okay. Starting inputs. Okay, no, it doesn't like that. Well, then let me get to the maps. I'm going to bring the map here. So I just brought the whole map, which is here, from the catalog window, dragged it onto here. Okay. So right now it is at a very zoomed out version. So I'm going to get this to my Cal State level and say zoom to the layer. So that helps me get to where I want to instead of being lost in the big thing. Now I'm going to uncheck this world topographic map and I'm going to create the first map. And before I do that, I want to insert some of the things that are considered somewhat important and expected. I'm going to create space at the top so that I can write things. Okay, you can make this fancy as however you want. Now at this point, I want to insert a north arrow. I generally can choose anyone you want. So if you want to format this, you can. Rotate, flip, true north. Yep, that's fine. Visible and locked. Okay, so now I also want the scale bar and use something with miles metric now. In the United States, we like to go separate way. So I'm going to choose this one and then draw it by holding left mouse key. So that takes care of that. So it gives the scale to the reader as to what they're looking at. Now at this point in time, I don't know what this shape means. So I'm going to start to turn on the labeling for the selected place. I'm going to also show the label for the state layer behind me. So I guess I don't need to turn on this one down because there are two Californias there. Okay. And let me put the properties for label. Where is label? Label. I see label here. I don't. Elevation, display. Oh, there it is. So I'm okay with the name field. Okay, so that's not it. Labeling properties, there you go. Everything gets changed around and I feel like lost. Okay, appearance. Yeah, Tahoma is fine. I want the state thing to be a little bigger. 14, text fill thing. I want to change the color of it. Yeah, the color has to be slightly dark gray. So, and then hit apply. Did not work. Oh, I was doing it for the that layer only. I want to do the same thing for this one then. Labeling properties for all the states. So symbol, size 14, and color is slightly dark gray or gray. And hit apply. Okay, so now I know that these are for the states, but that's not the focus for the reader. At this time, before I add these, I can add dynamic units, although I don't like them, but relative scale is one. Yes, I can make use of this. So 1 inch on the map is equals to how many miles? What else do I have available? I have credits and description. Metadata is also a good one. Spatial reference. So then people know that I'm using USGS Elber's equal area conic and they should not be bugging me too much. Next, let's see if there's a text box that I can add. Straight text, polygon text, rectangular text. That's what I want to use. So here you can say created by your name. So then nobody steals your map away and posts there as their own. Happens more than what you think. And then resize this. Okay, if you want to format this, I'm sure there are properties. Go to text. In general, the name, the symbol, make this a little bigger. and don't want color is fine. Do I have anything italics? Probably there. Oh, I don't have italics, but I do have bold. No. Too big? Too big. Okay. And okay, created by whatever. Okay, now that I'm done with this one, then I want to create Montreal City Hall should be slightly bigger. Layout. I want to zoom in a little bit. Once I'm here, why is it zooming all of it? I want to see the map here like this. But I want to zoom. Yep, zoom to the layer. Okay, good. Now, come on. Stay. Okay. So just like I had this one, I'm gonna copy paste Control C, Control V, and type in or change it, saying map 1 basic. Okay. Click somewhere else, click on it again. Now, when I go there, go to there, this time I should be able to make it bigger, no problem. Hope. So I can make this 16, apply. So whatever is required of you when you're creating these multiple maps in the future, you can accordingly give it a name. Now I've strategically placed this label up so then when you put it in PowerPoint, you do have the option to crop cleanly. So then you can type in your own heading in the PowerPoint and not necessarily be forced to do what this is. Now, the other thing that I want to do is Control C, Control V again. And I generally also put in date that I created somewhere that is not very obvious to everybody else, but it should be obvious to you. Okay, so I'm gonna say, let's say it's not January, it's let's say February 3rd, 2022. Okay, or whatever you want to type in. So I'm gonna say 2/3/22. Okay. So at this point, the only thing now I'm missing is the legend. So I'm gonna say legend and draw the area by using left mouse or holding on to the left click there and come on. Okay, there, no, there. So just drag it to wherever you want it to. So cool. Now let's see how it looks like. Okay, so these are all the things that I have here. So I have heading at the top. I have the north-south direction. So then people know where, in what sense are they looking at. Motor City Hall is showing up as a point. I can make that a little bigger. Where's Motor City Hall? So why do I have two map frames? I have map frame 1 and I have map frame 2. I don't need this then. Delete. Okay. Yeah, so then within this Motor City Hall, let me make this bigger. So I want to choose a different kind symbol. Yeah, that's fine. I want to make it a different kind of symbol. Why is it not giving me? No, that's not what I'm looking for. Give me 1 second here. What is this new thing? Let me try this then. Properties. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Gallery, there. So I want this to be a star 3. Okay. And what is this Monterey? I want that to be little grayed as well. So that's Monterey only. Labeling properties, symbol, bold, and then little bigger, but slightly grayed out. Okay. So Monterey City Hall Point, Monterey is the county, the state, California. And I should be satisfied with my life now. Okay, so good. So share, export layout. Now within JPEG, PNG, those JPEG, JPG, or PNG. Those are the recommended file types for your purpose in the career, wherein you are most likely to use it either in the Word document or the PowerPoint. So those are the only 3 file formats that are good or useful, or have least amount of tension or nonsense. Anyways, okay, so choose BMP if you want to keep high quality, if you want to get it printed and things like that. If you have to get it printed, let's say for poster presentation, for the conferences and so on, you can go to Walgreens, CVS, or any other standard printing shop, and they'll be looking for either BMP, JPEG, or PDF or PNG. Okay, but generally JPEG, PNG is good enough. If you want a professional, you can also go for TIFF. These are just different file formats to how this is communicated. Never mind the too much detail. Okay, so JPEG, and then where do you want this to be saved? I want this to be saved at in my folder I have specifically already created in maps. I want to say first map basic. Why do I name them? So when I go to the folder, my maps are already sorted. Okay. Now, clip to graphic extent. No, I don't want to do that. Compression quality. I would generally leave it at 50%. You don't need to compress it or change anything. For Word document and PowerPoint, 300 is fine. If you want to get it printed at Walgreens or other places at professionally, then you can increase this to 600 at least. And then in this one, 24-bit is okay. And that should be it. Now, if you're exporting as a PNG, sometimes this white color gets shown as empty. So when you submit this in the canvas, this might look all black to me, and I will not be able to read anything black on black. So this Monterey City Hall only, MR Monterey only, and things like that, they will not be visible to me. So just to remove that possibility, you can sometimes cheat and use this world topographic map. So now it is all filled. Okay, so should not create much problems. Or you can also use PNG and then choose different properties by saying how you want that to be filled, like how the background should be filled up. Okay, so those are the 2 different options. Transparent background, I would not choose it. If you choose transparent background, all of this will appear black to me when I see it on canvas. So try not to do that unless you are trying to use this only in PowerPoint. Okay, so be careful of the significance of choosing or not choosing the transparent background. You should choose transparent background if you want to use it only in the PowerPoint. So then the background of the PowerPoint will become visible in this ocean area, okay, or the empty area. If not, use it. I mean, because I'll be asking you to submit on the canvas. So if you want to submit it directly, then make sure that all of this is not empty. So then it doesn't show up as black on the web browser when I open it up, okay? So for now, I'm going to use JPEG, okay? So then that's not a possibility. Then export. Did I choose the right location already? Oh, see, I chose the wrong place already. Let me copy this path so then I don't leave this on my computer for no reason, and delete it. So by default, it created here. I don't want that because I'm going to forget it in the next 10 seconds. So I had already done that, but because I chose this PNG and then came back here, it changed the default location again. So I'm going to go to the folders, downloads, where I created. Yeah. And within GIS, I already have a dedicated folder for this. I'm going to name this again. 1 space map basic. Okay. So I save this. I go there. In the maps. Is it not done? Oh, I did export it. Okay, yes, please. Export it. Okay, there. So, good enough. Now, the drawback of using this ocean background, unless I do a little more effort, is that, see, this shows up California, FAO, NOAA, USGS. That's where they're bringing this topography file from. So they have to give credit, okay? So, but that's fine. So this is how you once you're done creating, this is how you export a proper map that can then be used, okay? So make sure when you're submitting this for your assignment, you know how to do this. Now, after this, I'll be showing you how to do the vehicle routing problem or location allocation, whatever the case may be. Okay, so that's about it. Hope that helps and takes the intimidation factor out by doing something that you may not have done before. This is a very comprehensive software. People spend their life or have been doing this for the last 25, 30 years, starting from transportation, logistics, Department of Geography, Department of Marine Sciences, and so on. And people generally use it only within their realm. So it's a very comprehensive software, but you just need to know what you need to know for this particular course, and then move on and become specialized as in when you have the interest that is subject to the kind of work that you may be doing, okay? Okay, that's it. Bye for now. Stay happy, stay healthy. Take care.